Motherfucker, I love the goddamn live show. Here we are. It's motherfucking Tuesday night for me, and it's Wednesday morning for you, my friend. So
That's
please
right.
introduce yourself, man.
My name is Tom. I am the vocalist of the Australian progressive metal band The Stranger from Brisbane. Hi.
Great.
All the way.
So exciting that you're here.
Thank you. It's excellent to be here.
This is awesome. So
I know things got. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, are you going to start it off, or am I? That's the one thing we didn't talk about today.
Well, I was going to say, I know things got confused. We were supposed to be on last night. On my end, got all crazy. Yep. So here we are today. Thank you for rescheduling, my friend.
No worries. Everyone's okay, by the way.
Oh,
yeah. Fans out there, everyone's okay.
Yeah. It's, organized chaos happens in our lives quite often. So
great.
I do apologize, but are grateful.
It's my favorite kind of chaos.
I think organized chaos is just a polite way of saying I have no fucking idea what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, it's only time for my morning chaos.
Right? Like, I mean, my day started off with, it was supposed to be a quick little look at a car, and then I was supposed to come home, do a bunch of research, and it ended up with a road trip out of town so that I could get everything organized and, car and stuff like that. So here we are. And it's good to be here. I want to know from you guys how it all started, because you guys are super tight where you are right now. And it obviously took some time and some effort and some stories along the way to get there. So where did it all begin for you guys?
Well, I guess the number one story that I tell when people ask this question is I didn't join the band as a vocalist. I joined as the bass player in 2013. I'd been singing since I was like 11, but I was playing bass with my friends from high school and just out of high school as well. I was playing with some bands as well. And I went around there and I played some Meshuggah and I played some Tool, I think. And that was it. That was me getting into the band. They were like, all right, you've got a few bass things that you can do. Come on and join the band on bass. And I quickly figured out that my bass chops weren't as finely honed as my maybe 10-ish years of singing. So after a little bit, I decided I would start training my voice again with Caligula's Horse songs, and then it went from there. And those boys, that was Kalen and Dan, and they had been in a band prior to The Stranger called Alpine Fault, which had gotten was really successful and very, very good band. And they split up around 2012, but Dan and Kalen, drummer, guitar player, wanted to keep going, had a whole bunch of old riffs, and they put them all up on like, I can't remember, like Bandcamp or SoundCloud or something, and then just posted ads out on the internet, and I listened to it, and that was the genesis of it all. And then I guess within 6-8 months of that, we found Brendan, our bass player, and Ben, our guitar player, and those guys, we played with them, and they contributed like really well to the band, but personnel, like life issues, children, those sorts of things come up. And then we were joined by Drew in 2016 and Link in 2018. But it really started with Kalen and Dan just not being finished with that music part of their life, I guess, and really being confident in what they'd written together to keep going. And I started as a bass player.
So what was it like to transition from doing as a bass player to start into the band and to be like, you know what, I've been singing for 10 years, but how about I sing for you? How did that go over? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. It was a very, I guess, gradual thing. Because even when I play bass, I would love to play a lot of System of a Down songs and sing them while I was playing. And I guess I'd always kind of been singing. And I guess we were sort of slightly going through looking for vocalists and stuff. And one day I just said, I used to sing. I thought I was a pretty good singer. I started singing some Carnival songs, and they they took to it and they gave me some more chances to work on it. So basically from that point where I think I sang Shutter Speed or something by Carnival, I just dropped the bass. I was just like, okay, I remember how fun this is. I remember how much like passion you can put into it from yourself. Yeah. And I mean, sorry, bass guitar, I don't know where it is now. But I think after that little meeting and singing that was like one of the last times I played bass like properly, and I just really got into singing through Carnival and Caligula's Horse, who just at the time released The Tide the Thief and The River's End, which was a huge inspiration. So yeah, it was just a lot of practice. Back to where I was when I was like 17.
Yeah.
Right on. That's fantastic. I want you to tell us about your latest release, but I have to run and grab a charger real quick. So if you want to start telling TJ, I'll be right. I had no idea that my stuff wasn't, my computer wasn't charged, and that's where all my information is for you.
I will elaborate on that. So this new release, it's actually the full album. So you guys have done singles, and then now the full album is out. Yeah. Tell us how that all come about, right?
Well, so yeah, it's been a long time since like our original The Stranger like album, and that was 2016, I think we released that. So this one only is like it almost feels like another first album, if you know what I mean. Like the first one was just very much like a whole like riff collection kind of thing, sticking stuff together from old ideas. But this one we really came together and we wrote it, and it's more like we've got these new members in our band and they've contributed in a way that sort of rounded out our sound now. Like you'll notice like pretty distinct changes in like song structure and like melodies and just general like songiness of the tracks from the first album to the second album. And it really is like just all of us having input and editing each other down and stuff, compared to back then where it was just like these riffs are in the same key, boop, and make a song sort of thing. Like
that's kind of going to be kind of cool to, as you said, look back on the evolution of how you guys have grown as a band and how tight you guys have become. Because you guys have come a long way, man. You guys have definitely tightened your sound for sure on this next album, this last album you guys just dropped for sure. So
I think it really, the most important thing we found is editing ourselves down. We have, off our first album, we have a song, Solomon's Song. It's a great song. We love playing it live, but it's almost 8 minutes long or something. And we cut just the middle section out of that to make a film clip of it. And we were like, holy crap, this makes the song so much better. So much more like tight and engaging, and there's not just this big waste of time in the middle that's just riff after riff after riff with sort of filler vocals on. So we've managed to like rein ourselves in and rein each other in, and it's yielding positive results so far.
No, 100% it is. I can see Amanda's eye going. She's ready for a question.
I'm so sorry I jumped out. I was like, hey, I want to know this. And then I ran. I thought my charger was on my table with every other electronic that is here set up. And that's the only thing that wasn't on the table.
That's all you don't have is the thing you need.
Well, of course, right? Because it wouldn't be our show if we didn't have something screw up, and I will make sure that it's me that does it today.
And that's why we have mud wipes. Oh,
yeah, no, that's the stranger.
There they are.
Get the mud wipes.
See, I paved the way for the shit show to begin, and I don't feel bad about it at all.
I'm riding the slide all the way down.
Right? Welcome to the Boneyard.
The mud slide, baby. Go ahead, though.
Don't get me on a giggle fit, or I'm going to be useless for the rest of the day. So, okay, so we don't get the enjoyment of shows just yet. We're hoping, fingers crossed, that everything opens up at the beginning of next month. But I see that you guys are booked for June 18th for a show.
That's right.
Is that just one show? Is there more shows? Where are you guys going? Have you been on the stage since lockdown? I know that was 3 questions.
Yeah.
But
No,
I mean,
fine.
it's one answer that will work.
Well, like live is something we're like extremely passionate about because like it's. I feel like it's at your live shows that you gain your new fans, you earn your new fans, and so we played. Yeah, we played. I guess our lockdown sort of really ended. I'm gonna give the wrong answer to this probably. End of last year, properly, like it ended. And so we've played. I think we've played 4 shows or 3 shows since lockdown has ended. One was like a single launch for Kaleidoscope when that came out.
Great song, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I'm pretty proud of that one. And we've played with a couple of other bands. We played over at Mansfield Tavern. But this next upcoming show on the 18th with Caligula's Horse, that's without a doubt probably the biggest one. I would argue probably in our career because we're playing with some of Brisbane's best prog metal and metal bands. Like we're playing with Valhalla and Caligula's Horse. It doesn't get any better than that in Queensland. Like no, it doesn't, and it's the fact that it's also being streamed worldwide, so that all those countries that don't have access can get something to watch and and enjoy. Like I know that Tesseract did this a while ago. I know that Korn did this not that long ago. A bunch of other people have been doing these like sort of live stream shows. And so to be a part of that really breaks down our disappointment of not being able to get out of the state or get out of the country because if a couple of hundred or a couple thousand people are going to watch it in the world, then cool. Didn't have to leave news.
If you guys have your jam session set up, we'll set up a live stream and you can live jam on our show and it will broadcast over all our channels for you if you want.
That could be cool. We jam in a tiny little, or it's not tiny, but it's a dank little studio up away from all of our houses. We might be able to like film it or something and then live stream it because it's in the sticks.
No, just let us know, man. We can always send the link, whether we do it through here or you, like you said, you pre-record it and then we fucking upload it. Us, man. But live music is something that I've been pushing for for the last 2 years. You know what I mean?
It's way more important. It's way more important than anyone really gives it credit for. Like it's a vital part of like your nightlife and your social structure outside of work. Like if people don't get that release, then they get upset. And we've noticed that.
People don't even realize while they're sitting there out at that restaurant eating their dinner, there's music in the background.
Yeah, 100%.
Some people don't pick up on that, but a lot of people, that resonates while you're eating your meal and stuff. It's music, it's laughter, and it's food. Like that's the keys to life, I believe.
It's like the I don't know, the background noise of life is music. There's not many places or businesses that you go now where you're just in dead silence, except maybe like the radiologist or something.
And even then, there's some kind of buzzing going on.
I work on a cell phone.
Sorry.
Yeah, so no, that's okay.
On that note, let's jump into the album cover because Brandon and I both noticed it's a concept of time in the multi-universe. Like, here it is here, my friends. So kind of take us through the artwork of this because this fascinates me. This is why I went to school in my later years of life, right?
Yeah, same. Like these sorts of concepts of like existence. So with the album cover and everything, we came up with
Brennan. Thank you.
We came up with the concept of like each of the songs representing sort of like a story in a world that is far removed from our own reality or sort of mirrors our reality in some way. And we take this to sort of very literal conclusions in the album and not very literal conclusions in the album. But what we had was each of these songs representing like some certain paradigm and how it's moving and changing. So the paradigm is the art, and the moving and changing is moving from one scene or one world or one story to the next, and how all of those stories give us sort of like this color to our life that is a wheel of darkness and light in a sort of a strange sort of kaleidoscope of color and reflection.
Back to the kaleidoscope, that song, that was one of my favorites that I've heard by you guys. So with the album cover and kind of wrapping that in together, explain that song Kaleidoscope to me, because I listened to it a few times today, my friend. So elaborate on that for me. That'd be fantastic.
Well, I'm glad that song has been resonating with people, because if any of them should, it is that one. So this is one of those where that concept of a scene in another world isn't as strong as, say, in like a Gemini or Siren. So for Kaleidoscope, it was very much about where I was at the time of writing that song, and I got this huge chunk of lyrics done in one big sitting. And it was sort of about, like, I mean, I was doing exactly what we were talking about earlier, TJ. Like, I was working a job I didn't like. I was just doing all these like things that were having a negative impact on my life, and it just felt like that's where I was always going to be. But just friends and family, people, music, catharsis, anything. It just
to the basics.
Yeah, you realize if you just feel one moment of like real pure love from someone, that like life isn't all that bad, and you can like find something within yourself to change your perspective and mood in a certain capacity anyway, and sort of like go like, look, like I can take control of my life. I can make it have meaning, whether that be for me or for whoever. And
that one note,
so it's sort of changing.
That one lyric, it just sets you off, and it could set your whole day off better. Right? Like, music is a very, very powerful thing within, I believe, the whole universe. A note resonates. It's no different than light. It will shine and blast across the universe. It might take them 3 million years to hear that note, but they'll fucking hear it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if one day some great old being listened to Kaleidoscope and got anything out of it, then there's nothing we could ask for, right?
No.
But so it was sort of like that paradigm shift is in that song. It's going from a very bleak outlook on life to saying like, I don't want to be my own enemy. I don't want to be like, I don't want to hate myself in 25, 30 years. So, you know, I've just got to really try hard and bring my personality out and make it trample over those things that are killing it. And that's Kaleidoscope in a nutshell, I guess. It was the music and stuff for that was all written basically in one go by our guitar player Kalen. He just turned up
here, because when you look back on like our greats like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath wrote their one album in 18 hours. They went into the studio, they basically partied, left, and the album was written.
Like Elton John and Bernie Taupin, they're like writing Waterfall in the 70s is like a huge inspiration to me, because I sit there over 3 friggin' lines of words sometimes going, fuck, like this sucks. I'm awful. But so he showed up to practice one day with the whole thing, all 6.5 glorious minutes of it, ready to go. And just said, go, vocals. And it was one that didn't take very long to put vocals on either.
Before Amanda asks her question, I've got to ask, because I've always said nobody writes a concept album. So this album, do you consider this a concept album because of the way it's written, or no?
I don't think I do. No, I wouldn't consider it
That's why I was laughing.
Yeah, we tried a concept on our first album, and it got maybe 4 or 5 songs, maybe 4 songs in, and I hadn't prepared enough. I hadn't done any sort of structure or anything, and I wasn't really passionate enough about the concept to keep writing about it. So we just sort of abandoned that. But this one, like when we wrote Jungles, and then we started writing the lyrics for Kaylin wrote the lyrics for Siren. I was writing the lyrics for Gemini and Kaleidoscope. We realized that there was like this theme, I guess, of like transition, like one thing, like things start out one way in the song and then they end up another way in the song. Like, you know, for 11th Hour, obviously it starts out with, you know, people starting out in civilization and the concept of greed, and that growing into the world is on fire.
That was another song I listened to a couple times because I always find greed an amazing thing. It's crazy to watch people say this and then they get that green eye, I guess.
Yeah.
And the world changes all of a sudden, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
just complete duplicity is where that's it's interesting that you enjoy that concept, because our next few releases might interest you a lot then.
No way, man. I do.
In terms of concept, I think for this album, the only real thing that I tried to keep consistent from song to song, lyrically anyway, was that things are changing in the narrative of whatever's happening in this song, and either they go from good to bad, or bad to worse, or bad to good, like in the case of Gemini.
Goes back to your artwork with the multiverse. One, you know, you're good here. You take one step through that fucking universe, and you're an asshole over there, bud.
That's right. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, you're like insignificant in like the overall picture. But
you're over here. You're nothing over here. You didn't even exist in this world. So why you even, you know, like you never know. We've got like that sort of like color of the universe with Kaleidoscope. It's probably like the idea of like the kaleidoscope, things moving and changing, the color wheel, all that sort of thing. And that's sort of what I think people's lives are like. You know, they're touched by different things in their life that either negatively or positively affect them, and they become like a color wheel. I don't know. I see people and they're older, and I say like, there's someone who still has like, you know, all their brightness and their like vigor and their passion still in them. And I know, man, I'm just like, it's completely gone. Like, could resonate with that 100%, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What'd you say, TJ?
I said, I know you can resonate with that 100%, right?
It's funny that kaleidoscope is the word of the day, because within that resignation, that was one of my symptoms, was kaleidoscope eye. So
really?
That's another. Yeah, it's another story for another day, though.
Or was the entire album written for you specifically?
There you go, eh? Look at that shit.
That's twice I felt super special today.
Like X-Files music plays.
I'm gonna say, I got all the love on Sunday, all the love for you today.
Yeah, okay. Bring it in, boys. Bring it in.
Hey, which way's the beach,
I don't know, TJ.
I'm wearing a long shirt for that reason.
I know.
That definitely is not getting restreamed later.
Well, we were talking earlier about the seasons. We're into our spring, and you guys are into autumn now, eh? So
yeah, that's right.
That's my favorite season.
It's sunny. It's chilly in Brizzy.
Yep.
It occasionally rains, but it's actually really nice weather. And if you go outside for long enough, you in the sun, you don't feel the cold.
So, yeah.
So true,
my favorite weather is when you can wear a t-shirt and jeans, or you can wear shorts and a sweater, and you're comfortable either way. It only happens like 3 days a year here. The rest we have like 4 seasons a day. So like it snowed 2 weeks ago, TJ?
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be and it's supposed to be spring here. Whatever.
Well, I mean, last week we had in the morning it was about like 12 degrees, and then it was
your car.
and then it was sunny for like the majority of the day, and then it pissed, like not like rained, it pissed down with rain. It was like angry, heavy rain. And then after that stopped, back to cold. So it was
Welcome
great.
to Ontario.
Yeah.
Welcome to a day in Ontario.
I hope you can sing with mittens on when you play at the festival.
I have actually. When we played in Melbourne, you might see there's like a photo set of us playing. I've got these big black heavy mittens on that I'm singing.
Oh, you fit right into Canada.
We have a band. I know they're not my favorite. Kim Mitchell. They always play the Berry Festival, and it's always in the fucking like October, November, man, and it's so cold you can't even drink hot chocolate. Like you're just dying. And he's upstairs with his band playing the fucking show, man.
Great Big Sea's the same thing, man. When they played New Year's Eve down here in the Falls, Great Big Sea was the same thing. Half of them were in fucking t-shirts, and we were all like, they're all new, they were like born in ice.
Yeah, so, we played a couple. It must have been year before last, before lockdown. I think it was at Halloween. No, I think it was Progfest, and it was like 36 degrees. I was going to
ask you about that.
It was so fucking hot. It was ridiculous. It was 36 degrees, and by the end of it, like you couldn't touch the guitars that we brought up on stage because they just absorbed that much heat. Like the Black Diamond that Drew plays, it was fucked up. It was I playing in Melbourne was like I was sitting there for ages like this, but like warming myself up before the show. But yeah, I think if I had to play in like Arizona or somewhere like equatorial like that, I'd probably be way worse off.
Oh yeah, the strings. They're like molten lava. You fucking go to push down your skin just burns.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, man.
And like all the rims around the drum, like you put them out, get them ready to go on stage, and then you pick them up and like fuck, you like got your burn marks across your hand from the drum rims. It's
they go worse and worse out of tune. No different in your strings, as you just fucking, they're so hot, they're melting.
You bend it and it just keeps going.
It's so fun though. Like I live for those moments, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I used to have, when we played that show, I had much longer hair, and I've cut it off now just because this was one of the reasons. Is like you get so sweaty and you like flick your hair around and stuff, and then you've just got this mat on your face of your blonde, thick hair, and if you breathe it in, you will vomit on stage.
On stage, do you find like that kind of ruins your experience? Like, do you like to look out above the crowd and like point at people and sing right at people and be like,
nothing could ruin a live show. I don't think.
Obviously, right?
It pisses me off. Like I've gotten my hair stuck in the machine head of the guitar player's guitar, and like I've like not realized, and then gone to walk away from him and just yanked out like a bunch of hair, and it's just all this blonde hair hanging off his machine head for the rest of the show. But when we're playing live, I like to do just whatever I'm feeling like at the moment. Like it could be like down in my hair like this, or right out touching people in the crowd. So it's whenever we have shows, there's always this really fantastic group of core fans in Brizzy that come along, and like you get to know them eventually, and then you see them down the front of your shows, and they're like singing along. Yeah, and they're singing along to your songs, and it's like, can't be in a bad mood.
I've always wondered that because I've seen a lot of bands, quite a few. Anthrax I've seen 7-8 times. I've seen fucking Black Label Society 7 times, right? Oh, nice. It's like, do they recognize me when I'm front row?
I've always wondered that,
like, they gotta know me by now,
I wondered that. When I first saw Caligula's Horse, I saw him at like 4 consecutive shows of theirs at like Brisbane, like Gold Coast, Coolangatta, and somewhere else. I was just wondering, like, do they know my face yet? Do they know? Do they know that I know all the words to all of the songs? Like,
you always wonder that, though, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen Slightly Intoxicated 42 times. They better fucking know who I am.
No doubt, right? I paid their way through band college, right?
Right. I know. I've reported on every goddamn show they've done. They're The only set list. This is the only slightly intoxicated set list that they ever made, and I stole it out of the lead singer's back pocket one night while they were packing up from a show in Toronto.
The little pickpocket. They probably just have your like headshot now, and they're just gonna be like, "Oh, by the way, she's gonna show up tonight."
Oh, they know who I am. They know.
Probably.
I have tattoos for 2 out of the 3 members in the band. I've got 1 more to go. I just don't know what to do for them. So, well, I've got "fuck this guy" written on the inside of my finger. Fuck that guy.
I know, right?
Right? Sorry, DJ.
That's all right.
So, and then I've got a drumstick, right? And then I've got a drumstick. So,
as I'm covered, right?
Right? What'd you say? Tattoos are for losers?
For losers, yeah.
Right.
Thanks. I've been watching lots of Ink Monster. That's not
right.
Do you have any tattoos?
I don't actually. I
No
a little
way.
while ago, I know. About
This way.
5 years ago, I got a sort of half sleeve design that was based around H.P. Lovecraft's writing, the Beyond the Silver Key, and
fantastic.
yeah. It's like that's just the trippiest shit, that book, meeting Yog-Sothoth and becoming everything at the same time. But so I got that designed, and I was gonna get it done, but I didn't really have the money, so kept putting it off and off. And now I feel like if I was to get something done, I probably wouldn't get the same sleeve. So I guess I'm kind of happy I put it off a little bit, but I did kind of plan to eventually, because I'm a very pale dude, and if we do play in hot shows like our Progfest show, I'd like to rock a tank top and not blind everybody. So, something arms, chest, maybe back related is in my future, but I'm just not sure about it yet.
Mine starts from I guess this side. It comes right down the whole side from my scar over and wraps around half my back. This whole thigh is all covered. My cap is done with my Woodstock 99 tattoo.
Oh, sick.
Right? And then I got my little fucking prison tattoo right here, right? But
I have a prison tattoo, and I was never even in prison. My
just
first
got it through
tattoo.
The bars.
My first tattoo I got when I was 12 years old, and I leaned over a pool table to have my friend do it with a homemade machine, and I paid a pack of fucking cigarettes for it. Oh yeah, it took 4 hours. It's my favorite tattoo.
Oh my god, nice.
My favorite tattoo.
I'm extremely interested in them and like application and stuff.
Well,
like I said before, we've been watching Ink Master and just watching what some people can do with that tiny little needle. Like it's beautiful.
Well, you're a tattoo artist's dream, right?
Because
you're fresh and you're all pale, so like they're waiting for you. Like they're sitting on the end of their seat. I'm telling you, right? And then the second thing I have to say.
Too early, and my back, I should have never got it done.
Yeah.
Because I should have waited. My buddy AJ did this tattoo here, and he did my thigh tattoo. He's fixing everything up for me. Thank God.
Yeah.
And then my buddy Chad's doing another tattoo for me. That guy's an amazing artist as well.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is, what I've learned is it's more about the artist, I feel like, than the art itself, because you come in and you tell them blah 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 blah, I want this, and if they give you exactly that, it's going to look like shit. So you really need to find someone that's got the same kind of creative flair as you, I guess.
You need to mesh well with your artist.
100%.
The guy that now I still have one more sitting for my chest, but the guy that did my chest took a mess and a really old tattoo and covered it with fire and water. But I've known this guy since grade 5, right?
Wow.
And I was like, we've been friends for a long. He started off as my childhood bully and became one of my best friends over time. Seriously, became one of my best friends over time. And he's tattooed tons of my life moments on me.
Yeah.
And you're right. You have to find somebody that's got that same eye as you, because this originally This originally was a snake wrapped around a syringe that looked like a penis.
Oh.
TJ knew what was going. Yeah. Oh, it was terrible.
A penis.
It was a snake wrapped around a penis. Thankfully, Justin Clay, who is one of the best tattoo. Oh, dude, it was so fucking bad. Thankfully, Justin is one of the best tattoo artists in the world, and he took this. Originally, it was going to be a sword behind the snake, and it was going to go right down to, like the bottom of my sternum and come right up here. But I told him no neck. So after 3 hours of drawing on me, I was like, no neck. And he had to redo the whole thing. He was pissed. He's like, fuck it, I'm doing fire. And he just scribbled all over me, and he was like, lay down.
Just write fire. This is where I'm putting the fire.
We're drawing
so like 22 hours. I think it's 22 hours and $2,000 later. I have a one-of-a-kind masterpiece that nobody else will.
Excellent.
Like, seriously, like it. So like when you're gonna look for your artist, look for somebody who, like you say, meshes well with you, has the same creativity and idea. Because my chest wasn't supposed to be a full piece. Originally, it was supposed to be a snake this big. I had a phobia of snakes, right? And it was supposed to be a medical tattoo because I'm supposed to have a medical alert bracelet, and I don't. So that's what it was. And he was and it turned into this because I trusted somebody I shouldn't have trusted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So learn from my mistakes.
Hooked you up into it. I think it's impressive to put fire over something dark like a snake and syringe and stuff, and have it actually cover up. That's pretty impressive.
So in 2018 I had a life scare. I had, pardon?
Right. It should tell a story.
Well, it does. It does.
Tattooed, because I know you since all year now, right? I know what her tats tell the story of, and she knows what my tats tell my story. My demon is literally pulling the stitches out of my chest from my scar that runs this long on this side. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
very personal, right? Like,
I had 2 heart attacks in 2018, and I survived pretty much fatal blood disorder. So when I had gotten this tattoo originally, it was supposed to be this big. It was supposed to be me overcoming my fears of death. And it became fire and water and what it is now. And it's basically
head to toe.
It's basically I know. I'm fire and water right from head to toe, right? So it just displays my feistiness. If you can't figure it out from here, that's your own fault. But that's basically what it is. It's my life after my death, basically.
The good thing about the metal scene in Brisbane is I have so many people to ask for good recommendations, because I see some fantastic tattoos when we go and play live. Like, some people have just some beautiful stuff on them. So
it's amazing. You wouldn't expect it sometimes. Like, I remember being a kid at Edgefest when they used to do it here in Wilson Park in Barrie, Ontario. We'd all be showing off. Like, not me at that time. I didn't have any tattoos, but my buddies would be showing off their tattoos. Like, a guy we used to look up to, he would be like, tattoos are for losers, fuck you. And then he finally ripped off his shirt. He has a giant Satan face tattooed on his chest. It's like, what are you talking about, man?
Oh, no, that's a religious tattoo. That's okay.
Yeah, right? Like, this is
devotion to the Dark Lord.
I'll reveal his name later. I'll talk to him, make sure I can tell the full story later on.
It's so funny. TJ, you were just talking. I just forgot about this because it's so recent. But you're just talking about how all of mine and your tattoos tell a story. And just as I raised my arm, there's a picture of a dumpster fire, and underneath it says "tattooed by trash." Just so everybody can see that.
Just in case you didn't know.
Just since we're going on storytelling with tattoos.
That way.
Right? So,
I know you got to work soon, man. I know that we got lots of questions, but hopefully you guys will be on again. We'll keep in touch.
Let's do this can. And
100%.
I'm going to find you on Facebook so we can talk some Sofa City sounds. I don't know if TJ got the opportunity to explain that to you, but we'll chat about it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cool. Yeah, awesome.
Because I'm pretty sure we have an Australia book now.
Oh, well, yeah, you'll be able to find my personal link on Facebook just through the band. Like, you should be able to just click on the band member list and I'll probably pop up.
Perfect.
Otherwise, I'll just PM DJ my sound.
Yeah.
If you know it, just, I'll be there.
I'll find you. I'll find you.
Yeah. Brendan will help us out if we get lost. Huge shout out.
Brendan.
Now, I gotta give a shout out to Mitch over there at fucking Overdrive. Fucking, you know her better than me. You give her the shout out.
Shout out to Mish at Mish Sharma at Overdrive PR. Absolute VIP, MVP, LLC, PTY, LTD.
Oh fuck, she's a gem, bud.
Absolute professional, consummate professional. Always helping. Always putting these awesome things together. And
she became family very
Thank you,
quickly.
Mish. Thanks very much.
And thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on. I know shit kind of got a little fucked up this week. But,
that's all good, man.
You know,
I'm keen for like maybe a week or two. We can sit down and have another chat. That'd be sweet.
100%, man. You get a hold of us
absolutely. I will do.
That works. Let us know and we'll make it happen. Because
for sure. You let us know your schedule. And so I always ask this question. We got one more question before we let you go. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you want to tell the world?
I have one other thing.
Oh, geez. Oh, God. It's all on Kaleidoscope. If you want my opinions on things, buy Kaleidoscope or listen on Spotify and chuck us a follow.
Now,
don't pollute the environment, please.
Save the turtles. Don't fucking use plastic straws.
That's right.
Now,
embrace the change.
I've got to ask you your local bands that you listen to that you think we should know about.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Personals of mine. Obviously, you guys probably know Valhalla, right? Also gonna give a shout out to Horizon. That's Mish's band. They're fantastic, and you should check them out. Give a shout out to Devonian, who have recently put out some new stuff that has been recorded and tinkered with engineering wise by our guitar player Kalen and his studio. That's Devonian. Definitely give them a check out. They are fucking excellent. I think Mercurius as well. If you haven't given them a listen, definitely give them a listen. Seraphic, you guys have had Seraphic on before, so hopefully people know about them. Who else can I fit in real quick? Yeah, they will. They better. You better. Who else can I fit in real quick?
The Strangers, buddy.
And Innovo, The Stranger. Yeah, check us out. Just Google Brizzy prog bands. We're all putting in some really hard work, and
I gotta
all of them
say,
are doing great work.
What, couple weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks? You guys coming back on, man, or what?
Sounds fantastic, man.
We'll definitely do it again.
We'll do it Tuesday, and we'll have like a couple hours or something.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Hang out
for sure.
Wait,
awesome.
As long as I don't keep you guys up too late.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, you let us know when, man. We're always up for it.
Absolutely.
It's an honor.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this has been fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Play it loud, play it proud, baby. Brandon,
absolutely.
Take us out, baby.